Benghazi is under attack. We are overrun.
We are the only help they have.
Hey, it's me. I want you to hear from me first. We had a problem here. Whatever you hear on the news, it's over now. I love you.
13 Hours, a Micheal Bay film, rated R.
All right, everybody. We're back. Miserable Movie Mafia.
We are back.
We saw 13 Hours. That's what it was. I keep wanting to call it Benghazi.
Well, yeah, 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. And, I've lost all sense of humor.
Like I told you earlier, I was like, my stomach feels queasy, and I think it's just because I'm like, Jesus Christ, that really happened.
Yeah, that was...
And it's disgusting why it happened.
Yes, and it's definitely an excellent movie. I would say if you plan on voting, you need to see this movie.
Yeah.
Because it is,
shed some light on stuff.
Yeah. It's,
and I've been finding myself saying what the fuck a million times afterwards, because I'm like, how? Yeah. Why? I mean, they don't come right out and say who it was that, made this go the way that it went, but it's still just like, how are you, like, how does a human being...
Oh, I'll give you a hint. Yeah, I'll give you a hint.
To other human beings.
I'll give you a hint. And we're talking about the stand down order.
Yeah.
The movie is about what happened in Benghazi on September 11th, 2012, which was the anniversary.
Yeah.
Where...
perfect fucking time.
Really, ISIS came into light.
Yeah.
And, you know, as someone who's... Personally, my choice for candidate is Rand Paul, and the reason for that being is because he seems to be the only one on either side of the aisle who understands that we armed ISIS, and this kind of shows that.
Right.
This film shows that we're the ones who armed ISIS, and we allowed them to really become a thing.
Yeah.
So, and this movie somewhat shows that. You see that because this is where ISIS came to the forefront, was the Benghazi scandal. That was ISIS attacking. You see the ISIS. Well, you saw the ISIS battle flags and stuff.
Yeah.
They wave, and it's a sad movie. It tugs at your heartstrings when you really think that Americans like that were just left.
Yeah, our own.
Yeah, they were left to die over there.
Yeah,
because we didn't want to, you know, step on anyone's toes, and we have to respect the rights of ISIS. I'm sorry, it's. Yeah, again, this is no jokes.
You're going into it, just prepare. It's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ups and downs. You know, you feel for, you know, the characters in it because they were real people that went through this. I mean, you know, Jim from The Office didn't personally go through it, but, you know, like, plus I will give him this much, seeing him as just like Jim from The Office, and he did comedy. Like, he handled this very
I was
well.
shocked.
He was extremely good.
Not only, when I saw the original trailer for this, when it said Micheal Bay, because Micheal Bay does this movie, and I despise Micheal Bay.
Yeah.
Normally. And when I saw Jim from The Office was in it, I was like, Micheal Bay is going to make a mockery of what happened over there, and we're going to start Jim from The Office. It's going to be like Transformers 4.
Yeah.
With explosions and robots and whatnot running around trying to kill American soldiers in Libya.
Decepticon ISIS.
Yes. That's what with shitty CGI turtles popping up through the sewers attacking the compound.
Yep. That was their relief crew, was the turtles.
The Ninja Turtles.
But he handled it pretty seriously. It was well shot.
Mm-hmm.
It was visceral.
Yeah.
Like,
there was no, like, I thought there was, the action scenes were going to have, like, Disturbed playing in the background, like, ooh, ah, get up, you don't keep fucking slow-mo gunshot. No, none of that. It's
fucking Disturbed in the background.
It's none of that.
No, he played it straightforward.
Well, yeah, it was, what happens is, ISIS attacks, it's not the American consulate, because technically, quote unquote, we weren't there.
Right, yeah.
So it was like a compound they had set up, and ISIS attacks it, kills the ambassador.
Yeah.
Kills one of the techs. Ends up killing 2. One of them was a former Navy SEAL. The other one, I think, was a former... No, they were both former Navy SEALs.
That's right, because the ex-Marines lived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ex-Marines and the ex-Army Ranger, because the Army Ranger was the one who was telling the story about rubbing his balls against the...
Yes.
So it was 3 Marines and
Yes.
Marines. But they hold ISIS at bay. Now, you know the worst is coming. These guys do an excellent job of just, holding ISIS at bay. And they're calling the CIA people who are not military. They're, office people, desk jockeys, essentially, are calling the consulate. This is the true part. The whole movie's true. This is not a movie in the beginning. It says this is a true story. It's not based off true events. I watched an interview where Micheal Bay said, no, this is a true. They wanted to make sure that it was down to the, factual and as far as the people who actually lived it.
Right. I mean, I'm sure there's some slight dramatization here and there.
Yeah.
With the talk between the ex-Marines and the SEALs with the guy, I'll call him the pencil pusher.
Yeah.
Cause there was some stuff that's like, you don't know shit, this is we are guests here, we don't do,
Yeah.
I'm sure cause it's a movie, you gotta dramatize it a little bit, but to me, I've seen movies where it's based on, or this is a true story, and as you're watching it, you're like, this didn't happen.
Yeah.
This, you get that feeling, yeah, this probably happened exactly verbatim for what's happening on the screen.
And it's, it makes a very huge point to show that we had every opportunity not to go in there and send troops in and start, another war, but just to fly a jet. They're they're calling, I'll say it, Hillary Clinton was the one in charge of this whole situation. They're calling the White House and everything else, begging for just fly a jet over. If you fly a jet close enough to the ground, you will scare these people enough so that we can
get out.
Yeah, we can get out of here. Nope, stand down. The order is given, stand down all across the board. Right? And we essentially, the White House essentially, and I'm not saying Barack Obama, I'm saying the administration as a whole said, stand down. They dropped the ball.
Right.
They dropped the ball. And in my opinion, you know where I stand politically, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. Yeah, so.
All right. So Hillary Clinton, and if you watch any of the news at all, you've seen the Benghazi trials and whatnot.
Right.
Hillary's email scandal. Hillary Clinton ordered the stand down. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or her department ordered the stand down. And by stand out, so no jets. Again, this was not going to be, they're not going to be shooting missiles.
It was just a scare flyby.
It was just scare. What they do is, they fly real close to the ground, and the vibrations from the jets will shake, knock windows out and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. They're not, opening up, and
yeah. They're not dropping fucking bombs or.
Yeah. It's not like the ending scene in True Lies with Arnold flying. All right. They just fly real low to the ground. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because it also, it scares them because of what it is, but it also shows them, hey, we're watching.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
And they hint at that at the beginning with the drone thing. Remember, he lies about the guy lies about the drone.
The drone was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just fly a drone real close. A big enough drone real close. And that's one thing they make very clear is that the whole argument, I've heard some politicians say, well, we didn't know what was going on. Bullshit. The drones, they get the CIA office people are watching.
Yeah, it's a direct feed.
Yeah. Direct feed from the drone. And they also mentioned several times in the movie, the one CIA guy, the asshole, says, in Washington, they could see this and more.
Yeah. If
we're seeing it here.
Well, and I know, I can't take a movie as 100% fact. I can't look at it as, this is, what I would get if there was an actual printout of the report. But, they show the drone there, it's painting targets.
Yeah.
They're getting the feed from the drone. They're like, yeah, you got 40 unfriendlies coming up on your left. And it's just okay, so they're seeing this. That video feed's getting fed to more than just one place.
Well, we know it was at least going to Tripoli because they're in Tripoli. The one guy with his 3 guys leaves Tripoli to head into Libya and try to save these people.
Yeah.
The one thing they didn't show, and I'm kind of glad they didn't, because I think this would have been my breaking point, is what they did with Ambassador Stevens' body and whatnot. Which, if you Google it, you could see the pictures.
No, I don't want
to. They essentially stripped him down to his underwear, sodomized him.
Oh, good.
With stuff, and drug him through the streets.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm kind of glad they didn't, because I thought they were going to be showing, when they're showing him in that room and they're going after him and they're like, they light the fire and they're trying to, smoke him out and stuff. I was like, shit, they're going to show this and I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They just kind of say, well, we can't find his body. That's because they were dragging it through the streets at that point.
Ugh, Jesus Christ. So, well, yeah, I mean, it's an experience. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I didn't say like I left feeling like I got to make changes with my life, but I left thinking like, okay, obviously, and by now I think most people should realize this, like, not everything you're going to see in the news is true.
Yeah.
And like, this was one of those things, like they had the reports like a day or so after, and it was like, oh, this and this is what happened, and It's like, no, that's not what happened at all. And like,
they said it was a riot started due to a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Now that's the whole email scandal that's going on now, because Hillary Clinton had those emails on her personal email, and the Benghazi committee got a hold of those, and at the same time she was telling people this, she was sending emails to her daughter saying it's this new group ISIS, it's a terrorist attack. Then she would go 5 minutes later and say,
God damn it.
Exactly. And one of the things that really, the reason I wanted to see this movie was I caught an interview where the main character, one, it's Jim from The Office and then the other guy.
Jack. Yeah.
His mother has gone on a couple shows. And she breaks down in tears on every show. Right. Because Hillary Clinton went to her and said, I'm so sorry, we are going to get the guy who made the YouTube video who started this.
What?
There's no, it was, her son lost his life because we were running guns and giving guns to ISIS to help, set up what we thought was going to be a new government after Gaddafi fell. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, like, saying it was all a YouTube video, that's a really weak cover.
That's one of the reasons why people were like, wait a minute, what? And they started taking a deeper look into it, turns out.
Jesus Christ. Okay, well.
And it's, it's not just, you look at the Republican debates, there's tons of candidates, they're all like, war hawks, we're like, we gotta get in there and we're gonna, nuke this and we're gonna,
see,
fight Russia. That's
not the
same.
That's not the answer either. It's getting
not.
Us out of there and sticking to our own damn business, in my opinion.
I agree with you.
That's my opinion.
I agree with you.
Worry about ourselves. Stop trying to fix everything else because it's not fixable. Just stop.
We have 2 allies over there we should be supporting. Israel and Jordan, in my opinion.
Okay.
We pull out, I say we pull out, we go to Israel, we go to Netanyahu, we go to the King of Jordan, and you say, look, you guys know how to handle these people. You tell us what you need to get the job done.
Yeah.
All
We're not going to come in as the cowboys, we're just the support. And, yeah.
All right. As far as, Gaddafi was not a good guy by any means, but kind of like with, when Bush knocked out Saddam, and then they kept things, they weren't saints, they were terrible people, but they kept stuff in control over there.
Right.
And they really, in Libya, under Gaddafi, women had rights. They could vote and stuff.
Right.
You think that's going on with ISIS?
No.
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 So,
yeah. Damn it.
Gaddafi was an asshole. Yeah, he did a lot of bad stuff, but, he did hand over his nuclear weapons.
There was one thing I was thinking, like, on the drive back, though. I was like, and I'm not like a political person to tell you how you're supposed to see one way or another, but like, if you have any inkling in your brain or like any thoughts that you think like, you know, the soldiers and the, you know, going over to war, like the people that are in the war, they're the problems.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this and see how it is, because it shows it from a soldier's point of view of like what they're sacrificing.
Yeah.
That sometimes really doesn't need to be sacrificed, but they're there because it's orders. Like, you can watch this and be like, realize like, Jesus Christ, these people are like, they're gods among men for us, because everything, their families, their health, their, you know, everything's on the line, and they're doing it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know.
And, you know, sometimes I feel like we as a country kind of squander what they're doing.
Oh, most certainly. Sometimes we do. I mean, when
I go on Tumblr, and I see some third-wave feminist say that she has PTSD because there was no trigger warning in a post on Tumblr, and that she is oppressed, you know, and is suffering, and such as, you know, you're a fucking joke, because you look at what these guys went through over here, right? Just so you could sit there on Tumblr and make your complaints. You are nowhere comparable, saying you're suffering from
and these guys
PTSD.
Yeah, and these guys came back home and still lived their lives out.
Yeah.
So, you know,
guys like this, I mean, even the asshole CIA guy, when he's getting on the jet at the end, says, you know, it's I'm glad to know an American like you.
Yeah.
Even the asshole, I mean, it's...
After the whole thing, he realized it. Like, after the whole thing was done, he was just like, I didn't help this at all.
Yeah.
It was you guys that did it.
People like that, and when I go on, like, fucking shit Tumblr says, or PTSD
you should just
for
stay away from Tumblr.
When I listen to, like, social justice wars, and my will is broken, I'm like, there's no hope for this country. It's going and seeing people like that make me say, you know what? You know, there are still some good... There's still some good people in this country. It's not all filled with politically correct social justice warriors.
And that's just, again, and I feel because of news' sake, that's the one that that's why you hear about it more, because they're getting more of the limelight right now.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah, exactly.
But it irritates me. And, you know, sometimes I think I'm a glutton for punishment because I go on and...
You do? You find it, though. So, I mean, like, I want you to I want to task you with a thing, like, to give yourself a week where you don't search for it. And see if it makes a difference in your life.
It'll find a way.
It'll find you.
Well, you know, I kind of did something where I tried that. Yeah. And I'm switching around TV, and I come across MTV, and there's a thing where they're like, social justice.
No.
And I'm like, damn it. It's just a commercial during the football game, and
I would just stay away from all that stuff, just watch Netflix for a week. Just stay away.
Well, my Patriots, I gotta watch football. My Patriots are...
That's true.
I am in full playoff mode, man. Tomorrow's gonna be nothing but tons of greasy food, alcohol, me and my dog.
And the Pates.
Yep. Sitting on the couch with our guts hanging out.
American way. So, what would you give it?
I'm going to give it a 9.5, and here's why it's not a 10. Is because they don't mention Hillary Clinton by name at all. Now, the reason for that, Micheal Bay said it. They interviewed, the two guys, one guy, the three guys who from Tripoli. The one former Navy SEAL and the two Army Rangers. Yes. The two Army Rangers don't say much. They say like 3 lines throughout the movie.
Right.
Like we're it.
Yeah, just us. We're the ones.
They interviewed them. Okay. They interviewed those 2 Army Rangers. In real life.
Okay.
And, they said, they made it very clear that, hey, and a lot of people who worked on the movie have said it too, that, hey, we were told, all right, you're not going to mention Hillary Clinton's name at all. In the book that this is based off of, Hillary Clinton's name is everywhere. Like,
okay.
But they're like, you're not going to mention Hillary Clinton's name.
So this is why you should read books.
The book, yeah.
Why do you think, like, back when the Nazis were taking over, they had big book burning fires? Because they didn't want people to be educated, because books have truth in them.
There's an excellent book I would recommend by a guy named Dan Baragino, who was a Secret Service officer under Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
And you will look at her and just want to punch her in the face after you read this book. The stuff she did. Mm. She called them pigs and threw stuff at them. and said, "No, you're working 18 hours today." He's like, "It's my daughter's birthday. Can
Jesus.
I please?"
Jesus.
She is just, a real. It's a word that begins with a C.
Right.
I won't say it.
Gotcha.
But that's an excellent book if you want to read one. But yeah,
Okay.
they were talking about it and they said, yeah, Hillary Clinton's name we were told you're not going to put Hillary Clinton's name in this by the studio, because the studio was contacted by her people and said, no, we will sue you.
Because that whole freedom of speech thing. Yeah.
Well, that's a pain in the ass. We gotta.
Yeah.
So.
I'll say, going from a person that was ignorant to all of the stuff that was going on with it, because you read all this. I've heard about it, but I didn't go as deep as you did reading articles about it.
And I didn't really go that deep. I had I would say a general idea, because it really, the more I went deeper into it, the more you get pissed off and you just get sick to your stomach and you're like,
yeah.
And then
that's why I stick to pop culture news, because I stay away from most news like that would, that's about any of this stuff, because I'm like, I can only believe maybe 10% of what's there.
Yeah.
And, so going into it where I didn't really know much about it, I knew of the incident. Mm-hmm. As a movie, to watch it as a movie, I would almost give this a 10 myself, because it gave me feelings.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in a theater being like, Jesus Christ. And after the shit we've watched over the past couple months,
yeah,
I'm like, there was one other movie I can think of that we watched where I was like, I left being like, that was just amazing. I can't remember though.
Creed, probably. I know Creed.
Creed gave me feelings.
Yeah.
Yes, Creed gave me feelings, and it's a fantastic movie. If war movies aren't your thing, don't go see it, because it's visceral. There are points where it's just like, Jesus Christ,
well,
and look at what happened to this guy, and it's just like, if that's not your thing, don't go. But if you can handle that, and you want an experience of something where you're like, I can't believe this actually happened, go see it. I think you should.
Yeah, if I would have watched that by myself in my basement, I could see myself getting emotional.
Yeah.
Because he does, the war violence and stuff I can handle. The fact that the way, and I'm surprised, like I said, the fact that Micheal Bay did this.
It did not seem like a Micheal Bay movie when it was
shocked
done.
The shit out of me, because he makes you feel for the characters. When they're doing that whole thing where they're FaceTiming with their family.
Yeah.
And she announces she's pregnant, and, they show that just all 6 guys talk with the family.
Because when we went in and you were like, I'm going to be real sad when the one guy dies, I didn't know which guy that was. And since it was Jim's character Jack was getting a lot of the screen time and he was talking to his family more than the other ones, I was like, God damn it, he's going to fucking die.
That's what I thought. I knew either Jim or, because the one guy they said the main character's mom, and Jim and the other, there's 2 main characters. Jim from The Office, and the other.
So you had a 50-50 shot at
I had a 50-50 shot at.
Yeah, it's just because Jim does get more time with his family, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm having a baby," and it's just like, "Fuck, if he's the one that dies, I'm gonna be so mad."
Yeah,
and luckily, spoilers. We always ruin everything, but he wasn't. But still, who dies? It's like, fucking Christ,
yeah. It's not necessarily spoilers if you follow the news at all. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess you do know if you follow the news.
But yeah, if it was just the way they did it, it makes you. I literally wanted to drive down to Washington D.C. and just kick Hillary Clinton into the
all this stuff is that came out. It's all fact. People were interviewed. Mm-hmm. I can't believe anything hasn't gone on farther than what was done,
because one hand washes the other down there, and that's another thing that gets you so irritated when you read into it, because you read into it and. I'm sorry, folks. If a politician's telling me one thing and a Navy SEAL who's on the ground is telling me another,
I'm believing that Navy SEAL.
Trust the Navy SEAL, because the politicians are just these slimeball politicians. They're still covering it up and still lying through their teeth. And they have these emails, and I watched a couple clips on YouTube of a guy named Trey Gowdy going at. He's one of the head guys during these Benghazi hearings.
Okay, yeah.
And he's like a former, prosecution lawyer. And he's going after these guys hardcore, saying no, this email says this. You know,
I know he's probably in like the fucking like legal thing of nightmares right now. Like he probably wishes himself that he never got involved with.
He's a bulldog though. He's like, no, this email says this. The Navy SEALs say this, and the politicians were like, well, no stand down order was given, but all the evidence is contradicting that. You know, that it's just one hand washes the other. They just lie through their
as long as they're like, no, that didn't happen. Even if he's got evidence, it's not going to.
Yeah, it's just who's gonna go after him? The system has become so big that they're just untouchable. They're literally like royalty.
Yeah,
and that's what sickens me.
Jesus.
And that's on both sides of that. That's Republican, because there's plenty. There are.
Oh yeah, it's either side. It is.
And I'm convinced there's a large portion of Republicans who just want to get the same power the Democrats currently have now in the office. They don't want smaller government.
Right.
Which is, what the nation was founded on. That's why, Rand Paul, Ted Cruz gets a bad rap, but he's not the one who understands the Constitution. The other ones, I don't.
It's like I don't really, like you've been telling me about Rand Paul and his stands, and I'm like, okay, I can agree with this stuff. Like it seems like he's got kind of a square head on his shoulder, like
very close to Jefferson. I look at it like I love his dad, Ron. All right, Ron Paul had a couple things that kind of were like I was kind of like, Ron, I love you, and I love 90%. What you say?
Yeah.
It's the other 10%. Rand kind of does what his dad does, but that 10% I didn't like, he's like, all right, this is where my dad was wrong, and I'm going
to... Right, it's less of a gray area.
Yeah, and that's why I like him. The problem is, he just doesn't have that same...
He doesn't have bravado to him. Like, he doesn't seem strong.
He gets it more right than his father. He just doesn't have that charisma that is...
And that's unfortunately the bad thing of it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you walk in there and you got a flashy suit and you got a loud mouth, more people are going to listen to you.
Yes.
So I guess we kind of wrapped up a Fred's Frontline in with the movie. I kind of figured that was going to happen considering the movie we were watching.
I was going to go off with GameStop. But
No. You don't want to? Because I was going to say, we can go to a funner side right now, because we gave the movie the rating. Go see it.
I want to explain what happened. Yeah, it's definitely
You should, because we touched on it on the last Grindcast episode, but I didn't know all the info.
Oh, I want to go.
So I want all the facts.
Yes. Now, one thing I want to say right off the bat is I listened to the Grindcast episode, and I just want to say this. Jason had a lot right, but he was wrong, at least in my opinion, in the sense that if the employee was having a bad day, there was an excuse for the way she acted.
Okay.
Because in these days and times, when jobs are few and far between, all right, there was no excuse for her to act like a complete bitch. Let's go into the full details here. I just recently got into current generation gaming.
Yep.
All right. Bought a PS4.
Okay.
Bought it at the GameStop in Hanover.
Okay. All right.
Nice. I just can be a girl.
My wife's gotten stuff, though. She said it's a really nice one.
Yeah.
Like, she pre-ordered my X-Bone there.
And it was it was the one in the Hanover Mall, North Hanover Mall.
Yeah, that's where she got it. Yep.
Okay. Nice girl. The only problem is she seems to be the only one. The other employees there, because I've gone there before during my lunch, afterwards, during my lunch breaks, they're not bright. They're not mean, but they're just not bright. It's literally, these people are functionally retarded.
Okay.
Okay? So, it's...
Fair is fair.
Okay. I only have so long on my lunch break, and it's easier for me to go to the one close to my home.
Okay.
Which just so happens to be the asshole of hell. This
is the one in the York Shopping
you got it.
Commons, or whatever it's called?
Yeah, over there by Lowe's and whatnot. Yeah. This place, right now, is the absolute worst place ever. And I've had my worst customer experience moment ever at this place, all right?
Twice in a row, actually.
Twice in the span of a week. Let me paint the picture for you, all right? It's a Saturday. I was in a happy as all can be mood, all right? I wasn't angry at all. I didn't come in miserable. I was happy as all could be.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Reason being is I had spent the vast majority of my day, the morning of Saturday, over at Stony Brook Guns and Ammo, talking with people, buying, firearm. Just, I was in a real pleasant mood. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go to GameStop because I only had one game. I was like, I'm going to go to GameStop and I'm going to pick up some more games. I'm going to go home and eat a pizza and play video games.
Right.
So I'm happy as all could be. I come walking in. All right. I should have known something was up when I go in and it's a Saturday and there's nobody in there. And there is this
Saturday?
Yeah, shrew slug of a woman. 5 foot, blonde, dumpy, looks like Warwick Davis from Leprechaun. Behind the counter. All right. And I say hello. I walk in. I'm like, hello.
Right.
No reply back. Just grimace. Just an angry grimace. All right. I'm like, all right. Oh, whatever. Okay. Maybe she didn't hear me. Even though I'm the only one in the store. Maybe.
Right.
She didn't hear me. I go ahead, go over to the thing, looking at games. I decided, I'm going to get Arkham Knight. I want to get Madden because I want to play it online. I want to get Major League Baseball the show because I've never played it. I'm a huge baseball fan and I've heard great things about it.
Right.
Go up to the front counter. I didn't see a used copy of Madden. I'm like, well, Madden's got a used copy of Madden's got to be pretty cheap now. Football season's done. It's playoffs and
right, and it's been out for so long now. Yeah.
So I go up to the front counter. I'm like, excuse me, do you have any used copies of Madden? Well, is the copy over there on the wall? I'm like, no, I didn't see it. No, it's over there. It's over there. Okay, thank you for talking to me like I'm a retarded toddler.
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to be like, well, let me check. I'm on the verge of dumping about $150 on video games here.
Plus, they have it in their system if their store or any stores surrounding them have it in their inventory.
Oh, she couldn't be bothered. She couldn't be bothered by checking the computer. She goes, I guess I'll go check the wall. She goes up. I'm like, what? And this whole time, I'm kind of in shock. Because normally, and you see me at the movies and stuff, like when we got tickets, and they're like, do you want to sit here next to these people? I'm like, no. Like, I'll snap back and stuff. Yeah. I was in such shock that I was being treated like this. It was kind of like, like I was just in a car accident, and I'm like, what? I'm just like, what? Like,
it hasn't all settled in yet.
I'm like, yeah. And she goes over to the wall, and she's going, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
She can't find it.
Yeah, she can't find it. She goes, it's not on the wall. I guess we don't have a used copy. I'm like, oh, okay. She goes, new copy's cheaper than the used copy anyway.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
So I sit there. Well, that's what I did. I made the face like, wait a minute, as it sunk in. What? I'm like, wait a minute, what? What? Like,
yeah. Even from a because it's like, I know they make their money off of the used sales, but they still can't sell it for more than what it's being issued at new.
Yeah.
So, like, that just makes no sense.
No, well, that's why I was like, what? I was like, all right, so I guess I'll take a new if that's cheaper. It is cheaper. I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, that's how it is.
Now, see, and this is like her talk. Like the one thing I will defend with what Jason said is that, like, and I've gotten this way once or twice, during the day if I'm having a bad one. But it's just like I will just kind of like I'll keep to myself. I won't say anything bad to the customer, but I'll just kind of keep to myself a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be standoffish or anything, but, like, to do that?
Yeah.
That, like, I don't care what kind of a day you had, customer service, you do not handle it that way.
Yeah.
Like,
now, if I walked in the door and said, hey, you short stubby cunt, I want this game, and she started snapping back at me, then I'd be like, all right, yeah, that's, excuse me. I walked in, I was like, hello, how's your day? Like, happy as all could be. She's just like, you fucking son of a bitch.
It's like the first day you've been, like, legitimately happy in, like, a long time.
And the whole time...
Somebody shits right on your parade.
The more she's barking at me, the more shocked I am. Alright? So I'm just, like, being taken back. Like, how does this person get away, like, how does this person get away with saying this?
Right.
So she's like, she finally goes, like, she gets the games and she's ringing them up and she's tossing them in the bag. Like she's fucking, like, throwing fastballs.
Like whipping them in.
Yeah, she's like, and so I go, you know, I'm sorry. Like,
you know, what did I do to offend you?
At this point, I'm like, you know, I start to realize she's snapping at you. You got to fight back because she's got you up against the ropes.
Yeah.
So I make I was still very nice. I go, I'm sorry you have to work on a Saturday.
Right.
And she goes, and that set her over the fucking edge. The fact that I actually spoke back to her. All right.
How dare you?
And she goes, yeah, I do have to work on a Saturday. Some of us have to work. What, you don't realize what work is or something along those lines. And I'm just like, again, I went in for an uppercut, missed, and she just, you know, rapid fire jabbed me. So I'm
back around the house.
I'm shocked again. Like, oh, what? Like, how? So finally, I'm like, all right, I got to come out guns a-blazing now. Well, no, I didn't do that yet. I said, when I originally bought the PlayStation, I signed up for the GameStop Rewards program.
Right.
To get the magazine. Problem is they were all
out.
Problem is the North Hanover Mall store didn't have one. So the nice lady I dealt with at the North Hanover Mall was like, next time you go to a GameStop, if you're going like in the next week or so, just ask them for a magazine and they'll give it to you.
Yep. And now it just so happens to be the ball is in this court.
Yeah. So I decide I'm going to ask her for the magazine.
Yeah.
All right. So I go, hey, I just got this rewards card the other day, and the lady there said I could get a magazine. She goes, she told you could get a magazine? You didn't get a magazine there? I was like, well, that's how, like, they were all out. She's looking at me like I'm lying. She's giving me this look like
you might possibly walk away with another $5 magazine for free.
Yeah. So,
after you drop the $150.
She takes the magazine, picks it up, violently tosses it in the bag. And I go, like, I'm literally startled by it to the point where I go, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm looking at her, like, at this point, I'm looking at her like, who the fuck do you think you are? You're waiting on me, lady. All right, I'm sorry you can't get a job where you're not working on a Saturday.
Right.
I've worked on Saturdays, you know, I just got a job. And I still during spring, summer, and fall work Saturdays at Gettysburg, so I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I just recently got a job where I didn't have to work Saturday. When I worked at Comcast, guess what, lady? I was dealing with a lot more pissed off people than you, and I was working Saturdays, Sundays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, you name it. So I don't want to fucking hear it. All right? I wasn't born with a silver spoon up my ass. So I'm looking at her like, so I'm like, all right, you know, thanks. And I said something back, and she said something like, she said something like, you know, you don't have to come in here and give me attitude. And I'm like, so at this point, I'm done.
Yeah.
I turned around and I said, I came in here pleasant. You've been giving me attitude since I walked in through the door. All right. I was like, and you can't treat customers like this.
Right.
Walked out. All right. That was the end of it that time. Or something along, you get the gist of it. That's essentially what happened.
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah.
So I go back a second time. All right. Because my first trip, where I dealt with the nice GameStop woman at the Hanover Mall, she sold me on this headset, this Star Wars headset.
Okay, yeah.
All right. She said, if that doesn't work, but it was expensive. It's like $75, $80 for the headset. I also wanted to get the PlayStation camera. All right. So I could hook that up. So I'm like, well, it's a weekday. I went on a Saturday 2 or 3 days ago. Maybe she has off now. Maybe she won't be in there. So I go back, okay, to get this stuff. Again, I'm dropping about $150 once again. So this is $300.
Mm-hmm.
Go back. And she's not there. Some hipster guy working behind the counter with his, you know, some 100-pound soaking wet hipster guy working behind the counter. So I'm like, oh, thank God she's not here. So I walk up to the counter. I'm like, do you have the X-Wing pilot headset? And the guy's like, yeah, we got it. I'm like, oh, great. I'm dealing with fucking cream of the crop here.
Right.
Door opens in the back, and here she comes. And I literally went, oh, shit.
Right.
And she comes up, and she sees me, and she goes, oh, you're back. Yeah, I'm working again today.
Just right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
They didn't even say anything.
Yeah. I'm like, so at this point, I'm done. I'm like, you know what? You have terrible customer service, and you shouldn't be working around people.
Right.
And she snaps something back at me. I go, no, you should not be working around people. You're terrible. I'm going to contact your manager, and I'm going to do everything I can to help you get out of this job because you obviously don't want it.
To help you get out of this job.
She goes, you contact my manager all you want, see what happens. I'm like, I will. I'm going to contact him, and I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to let him know that I spent $300 here, and that you'll never see, your store or establishment will never see another penny of my money. Because I'm the type of guy, I will dump a lot of money into this whole PlayStation thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be losing out on a lot of money with me.
Right.
Okay? So I'm gonna contact the manager. I haven't had the opportunity yet, because of my schedule, but I'm gonna contact the manager. I'm gonna be like, look, this is what happened. I guarantee you he's not gonna be happy about it. If he doesn't care, then you know what type of people you're dealing with here. This is a completely...
Outside, I hate GameStop.
Yeah.
I do.
GameStop is horrible. If he doesn't care, if he shows any sign of caring, I'm gonna go, look, I'm never coming back to your store again unless, and here are my demands. I want her fired. I want you to fire her while I watch. And then I want to be able, if she has a family with children, I want to be allowed to go watch as she goes and tries to explain to her children that they now have to go on the WIC program because mommy lost her job. Then I will start shopping at your store again. That is those are my demands. That's it. I'll start going to Walmart to get games. You have fucking ruffled my feathers to the point where I am livid and I would do anything and everything. He's going to have to get down on all knees and kiss the ring of my ass for me to ever spend another single penny at his fucking GameStop establishment. GameStop is horrible. I've told previous stories about I went in there to buy Hitman.
Yeah.
I've never had, I think Will said he's never had a positive experience. I've never had a mediocre fucking experience at GameStop.
Yeah, I mean, I've had experiences where I just walked in, got my stuff, and left. But I've had experiences, and I talked about it on the last episode, where people are like, what the fuck you want that game for?
Yeah.
Or when it was like the PS2 and Xbox thing was going on, I walked in and got because everybody was like one side or the other. You're either PS2 or Xbox, and I went into PS2, and they're like, it's an inferior machine. I'm like, I don't fucking care. It's got the games I want to play on it. What? I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't want to play Splinter Cell, really, which is what you're selling the Xbox for. I don't care. Like, oh, it looks better. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, if the game sucks, I don't want to play it. I don't care how gorgeous it looks.
Yeah, if I want your opinion, I'll go up to the counter
and ask you.
Yeah, exactly.
What would you choose?
Yeah.
I didn't ask that. I said, I want this.
Yeah.
Which at that time, it's a $350 purchase, and you're telling me I'm dumb.
Yeah. Some of these stores, this is the reason why they're losing to online stores. All right? This is the reason why I'm doing a lot more shopping on Amazon.
Yeah, because you don't have to talk to anybody.
Yeah, exactly, because your customer service sucks, and I'm not someone who, I like talking to people. I go in and say hello. If they say, hey, how's it going? I'm like, hey, how are you? That's, you don't have to, I used to not like when I used to say, are you finding everything all right? Like, can I help you out?
Yeah.
Now, I'll fucking, I long for those days. Sure as shit being told, hey, I have to work today. Well, there's plenty of people who aren't working. I'm sure we could find someone
Let me take the stuff you just bought and throw it violently into a bag.
Oh, she was pitching it in there like she was Nolan Ryan. She was fucking heaving it in there violently. Like, grunting at me. Unbelievable.
It's...
I'll tell you another place that's terrible. is Books A Million.
Oh, BAM? Yeah, they suck.
Books A Million, alright, they've got 600 different reward, quote-unquote reward coupon programs. I bought 3 books, I'm going up there, and it's like, you should sign up for the Books A Million card. It's only $10 right now, but you'll save $5. Nope, don't want it. No, thank you. But, if you get this, we also, sign up, you get the platinum rewards for it.
Oh, I love that one. It's just also like, oh, I've noticed you come in here a lot. Because, like, if you buy books a lot, they know your face.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you should just get it. You would have saved yourself this much money by now. It's like, I don't want it. And then they move on to well, you have a choice of 3 free magazines.
Yes.
I'm like, no, I don't want those either.
Yeah, and I just want
to buy my book and leave the store.
Yeah.
Like, it's all I want to do.
I'm just going, nope. I had to go in there twice during the Christmas season. The first time prepared before it. I'm like, no. And the guy's like, well, I mean, I just don't feel right letting you pass up on this deal. Believe me, I'm sure you'll sleep at night. Pass me up on the deal. No, I don't want it.
I've been buying most of my because most of the books that I like reading are major releases, so I just buy them at Target. Because you get them 20% off anyway, new releases. You don't need to sign up for a card that you then have to pay more than later on down the road, that $10 card is a $30 card.
Yeah. And what happens with the magazine subscriptions? I get the first issue free, and then all of a sudden my credit cards hit for $90 because...
Yeah, because it's 3 fucking magazine subscriptions.
And I, forgot to cancel. Yeah, I know what you're doing, and I don't want any part of it. So I went in the second time around Christmas to get a Christmas present for my grandmother, and the guy started pitching again. I said, stop right there. I was in pissed off Christmas shopping mood. I was sick and tired of dealing with people. I said, stop right there. Any pitches you have about discount cards or anything, I'm not interested. Do you want 3 free What did I just say?
Yeah.
That was what I said to him. I said, what did I just say? He goes, fine. And he starts violently scanning the fucking books. I'm like, where do you get... Now, this really makes me want to come back and purchase something at your store. You violently scanning my books. Alright? Getting your fucking coffee fingers all over the fucking cover of my grandmother's Thomas Jefferson book. Thank you.
Right.
I'm gonna rush back here the next time I'm getting a book.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. That's why brick and mortar is losing. Because with Amazon, they're just like, buy it, send it. If there's a problem, we'll send you a different one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. There's no hassle with Amazon.
No.
And then you get Prime, you pay like $90 for, I guess it's $99 for a year's time, but you get a shit ton of stuff for free. Like now, they get you 20% off new games.
Mm-hmm.
You get like free streaming with movies that they have on their site. All this stuff. And you don't have to deal with anybody.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, like, I tried Prime once. That's right. Because I was trying to find a copy of fucking 3 Ninjas. And I couldn't find a copy anywhere. And I was like, well, Amazon's gotta have it. Sign up for Prime. It's not in streaming. So I was like, fuck, I forgot to do anything with it.
And
I sent them an email. I was like, yeah, I didn't want this, And they're like, yeah, you didn't use it. Fine. Here's your money back.
Yeah.
Nothing. No problems whatsoever.
No problems. Yeah. I had an issue where, I ordered Christmas presents off Amazon. Alright. The Christmas present I ordered, turns out my sister's already had it. Cancel. They didn't ship it yet. It was,
they just canceled the order, yeah.
I just canceled the order. No problem whatsoever. Didn't charge my card for it at all. Nothing.
Yeah.
This is why you're losing. Because fucking, these people out there working at these brick and mortar stores think you owe them something. Look, I'm sorry that, you're working at a brick and mortar store. I work at Gettysburg, which is very similar to what these people at the brick and mortar stores are doing.
Right.
I just don't see why they're giving people attitude. Yeah. You work at the comic book shop.
Yeah. I don't give anybody attitude.
Yeah. Why? Why do they feel the need to do this? And GameStop has a history of this. It's kind of, I think on their applications it says, like, you need to be an asshole. How can you treat people like they're fucking shit? Like they're a fucking slug?
You're management material.
Yeah. We're gonna hire you.
Boy, you hate your life. Yeah. You're going places in this business.
Can you tell people how terrible they are? Insult their
without
gaming choices?
Knowing anything about them?
Yeah. Insult their gaming choices and wear a different lip ring every...
Jesus. Well, that's the state of GameStop shopping.
I really do hope that they go out of business and they all go unemployed.
You know, and that's the funny thing. I don't know how the hell they keep going because...
Oh, they're like top notch. Who else is competing with them?
Well, that's the thing. Like, there was a chance that they were going to get taken down because Walmart was going to do the used game idea, and then, like, they just didn't do it properly.
Because you have to weigh your options also and say, all right, do I want to, you know, go into Walmart and possibly step in feces in aisle 3 when I'm trying to get back to the GameStop thing and have to deal with...
That's true.
Fucking...
No, like,
trash
if Best Buy would have gotten on the ball a little bit better with doing pre-owned, there might have been a shot there, but...
Yeah.
Best Buy's customer service is just as bad in my opinion, too. Like, I remember when I bought a laptop from them, and it was the whole, like, oh, buy our protection program, we'll fix it all here, because we've got Geek Squad, you know? I'm like, okay, cool. The laptop, like, and this happened to Will, too. His battery dies. He has the protection, right? He goes in with it, and like, oh, well, we gotta take this and ship it back to the factory. It'll be like 2-3 weeks. And he's like, why the fuck did he paid them like, I think it was like an extra $100 or something for the protection thing. And it's like, so you're just shipping it back to the manufacturer because it's under its warranty, so you're not gonna do anything to it. So what, and then it's like the protection runs out after the warranty's done anyway. So you'd have to pay more to keep it after a warranty. So it's like, what the fuck? And that's when you realize it's a racket. I fell into it.
Yeah.
I didn't, you know. It's like, oh, only for this, we'll take care of everything if something happens. You're like, fine, sign me up.
What has happened to the days where customer service meant something and service in general meant something? It's all fucking gone.
It is.
It's all. There needs to be a company that comes out and says, hi, we do all the same policies as GameStop, but our employees will treat you like you mean something. And you come in, you're going to have a positive experience.
Well, see, that's the thing. Back in the day, I wanted to open up my own video game store. And then I looked into the money you need to get the agreeances from all the game companies. And there's not a loan in this world. There's not a bank that's going to give a person that money. Like, oh yeah, here you go. Just good luck. You know, like, they're not going to approve you for it. It's astronomical and it's ridiculous. Because I hate them.
What about a GoFundMe? See, the whole idea behind GoFundMe, I thought was an excellent idea. All right, as a capitalist libertarian, I thought the whole idea. You go to a bank, you say, "Hey, look, I have this idea for a business." They say, "No, we don't want to endorse that." All right, you go on GoFundMe. All right, you say, "Hey, look, I got this idea for a business. People like it, yeah, that sounds great." They give money towards it. All right,
yeah.
I thought that was an excellent idea. Problem is with GoFundMe, people started getting on there and saying, I can't pay my water bill this month. Can you donate money to me? No!
Yeah, well, that's what happened to Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Like, I want to make potato salad.
Yeah.
And he gets $100,000.
Or, you know, if you don't donate $100, I'm going to shoot this rabbit in the head. Wasn't that one of them or something?
That was one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's why GoFundMe, there's got to be somebody go on GoFundMe and say, look, we're going to do a GameStop. We're actually treated with some common decency.
Well, so, like, you should check out Just Press Play once. It's in Lancaster. That's the only problem for you because it's so far away. There is one in
Hanover, but it's South Hanover.
Oh. Well, you should give them a shot because I love them.
Are they?
They are so... It's just like a GameStop atmosphere, but they actually have all the old stuff, too. And they're really nice guys.
All right.
They work with you. I give them a shot.
Well... I'll have to try them out because GameStop, you're losing my business.
Yeah.
You are losing my business. And I'm someone that you could, you know, I'm sure you're probably thinking, we don't need his money. I hope you go the way of Blockbuster. And I hope that woman I dealt with, that 5'2", fat, dumpy, rotund blonde woman, I hope she's eating fucking garbage spaghetti.
Garbage spaghetti?
Garbage spaghetti out of a fucking dumpster because she can't afford to buy regular food. All right?
Yes.
And then she gets diagnosed with leukemia.
Leukemia.
That's what I hope happens.
That's great. Well, alright. I guess we're gonna...
Yeah.
So now everybody knows the full GameStop story.
It is unbelievable. I was so livid. It would have been better if you would have interviewed me the day it happened. Because I was punching walls and throwing things. And fucking, my dog was scared, hiding under the coffee table. And then I felt bad. I was like, come on out, Matt. Come on out, Maddie.
It's great. I felt bad.
I was yelling and screaming. I was like, son of a bitch, you fat GameStop slug! Fucking whipping stuff. I was like, ah! Yelling. My poor dog finally had enough of it. Looks like your dog's having enough of me even.
She's just getting, she's just like, she's getting calmer now.
Yeah. All right.
So I guess that'll end it.
Yeah.
If you haven't, I highly recommend checking out the Joe Don Baker Awards episode. It's probably one of my favorites we've done. I fucking love that episode. Definitely check it out. There's the videos on YouTube, and you can always check it out at grindcast.libsyn.com.
Next week.
Yes.
Are we seeing the Fifth Wave or Dirty Grandpa?
We could also see The Revenant. That's still out, isn't it?
You want to see, yeah, that's out. It'll be out.
I think we should see that.
All right,
it's his actual first shot at maybe getting an Oscar.
I could really care less.
I know you don't like him, but I think it looks good.
I do enjoy the story. I am familiar with the story it is based on. That's one that's not a true story. It is based off a true story, and they freely admit that they've taken many liberties.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the only true part is the fact that he survives a barricade and crawls out of a grave.
Yeah.
They legitimately thought he was dead. They weren't trying to, like...
they weren't trying to kill him because they killed his son and they didn't want him coming after him.
They were like, I guess he's dead because this fucking...
This bear beat the shit out of him.
Better bury him.
Better bury him now.
So...
Alright, so yeah, we'll catch The Revenant next week.
Alright.
That sounds good. So... You can always find us on grindcast.libsyn.com. Give Fred's Facebook page a like at facebook.com/Visual Movie Mafia. You can give the Grindcast one a like there as well. And, you can check out Fred's blog.
If I ever give it...
If you get it... Well... Go there and tell him how much you want him to write something new. He would love to hear that.
Yes.
It's at wordpress.com/Miserable Movie Mafia.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. So thank you all so much for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode. /Miserable Movie Mafia.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. So thank you all so much for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode.